Okay, let's do few more questions based on errors. Yes, here. Now suppose mass is given as 2 plus minus 0.1 kg. The mass of any substance is given as 2 plus minus 0.1 kg and the volume is given as 4 plus minus 0.2 meter cube. Okay, if this is the question and you have to find out the percentage error in density. Okay, all type of questions we are discussing. Now, if the mass is given in this manner and the volume is given as volume plus minus its absolute error, okay, 0.2 meter cube. Now you have to find out the percentage error in density. Again, we know that density is mass upon volume. So the relative density will be given by absolute error in the density upon the density equals to the sum of the relative errors in mass and volume, because in division also we know that the relative errors are added. So delta V upon V. Now as you have to find out the percentage error, we multiply both sides by 100. So this will get it as the percentage error in density. Multiplying both sides by 100 will get the percentage error in the density. Okay, now in such questions, how will you get the relative error in mass? We know that mass is written, the measured value of mass will be written as m plus minus delta m. Okay, we have already studied that any measured value can be written as, if A is the measured value, it is written as A plus minus delta A. The same way here mass is written as m plus minus delta m. So from here you can find out delta m. So what is delta m? What is the absolute error in mass? It is 0.1 kg. And what is the mass of the true value or the mean value of the mass of the substance? It is 2. So we write the mass as m plus minus delta m. So from here delta m is 0.1. The mass is 2 multiplied by 100 plus delta V. Again looking at this equation, we see that delta V is 0.2 upon the volume is 4 into 100. Okay, on simplifying it, we get 0.1 into 100, 10, 10 upon 2, 0.2 into 100, we get it as 20, 20 upon 4. That is, it is equal to 5 plus 5, that is 10% is the error in measuring the density of a cube. So in measuring the density, the error is plus minus 10%, or simply you can write it as 10%. So if it is given in this manner, then you will find out the formula is the same, but delta m from here will be this one. Okay, write one more question. Write down the radius of a sphere. The radius of a sphere is given as 2 plus minus 0.02 meter cube. The radius of a sphere is given as 2 plus minus 0.02 meter cube. Find the percentage error. Find the percentage error in measuring its volume. In measuring its volume. The radius of the sphere is given and you have to find out the percentage error in measuring its volume. Okay, now as it's a sphere, we know that its volume is given by 4 upon 3 pi r cube. Okay, try to do it yourself and you will give me the answer. Okay, you can mute yourself and can give me the answer.
3%.
Okay, let's see. Volume is given by 4 upon 3 pi r cube, as it's a sphere, so its volume is 4 by 3 pi r cube. Okay, now here you have to find out the percentage error in volume. That is the relative error in volume multiplied by 100. This will be the percentage error in volume. 4 upon 3. Okay, it's not a measured value. It will not have any error. Then pi also is not a measured value. Its value is constant. It is a dimensionless constant. So it also doesn't have any error. Now the error will be only in the radius. So it will be 3 delta r upon r into 100. Okay, so 3 times delta r. Delta r, this can be written as r plus minus delta r. So delta r from here is 0.02 and the radius is 2 into 100. So it is 3 into 0.02 multiplied by 100 is 2. 2 upon 2, it is 1. So 3 into 1, the answer is 3%. Yes, so the answer given was correct. The answer is 3%. Okay, now you'll try to do the solved questions of NCERT of this chapter. Okay, and few unsolved questions. We'll do it just now. Okay, and the questions which we are doing, only those questions you have to do. Here, question number 3. Okay, this we are discussing the exercise questions, which are given on page number 35. Third question we have already done. A calorie is the unit of heat or energy and it is equal to 4.2 joules. Okay, that is N1U1 is 4.2 joules. Suppose we employ a system of units in which the unit of mass is alpha kg, the unit of length is beta meter, and the unit of time is gamma seconds. Show that the calorie has a magnitude 4.2, alpha raised to the power -1, beta raised to the power -2, and gamma square. Okay, this question we have already done. That is 4.2 joules. You have to convert it into a system where the fundamental units are alpha kg, beta meter, and gamma seconds. This question we have already done. Okay, then question number 5. Take the questions, only these questions. We'll do it. Okay, and you'll do only these questions. A new unit of length is chosen so that the speed of light in vacuum is unity. What is the distance between the sun and the earth in terms of the new unit of length, which takes 8 minutes 20 seconds to cover this distance? Okay, so it is given that a new unit of length is chosen where the speed of light is taken as unity. Okay, otherwise we know that in SI system, the speed of the light is 3 into 10 raised to the power 8 meter per second. Okay, but according to this new unit, new system, it is given that the speed of light is unity. Okay, that is C is equal to 1. And the time taken, okay, the time taken for the light from the sun to reach the earth is given as 8 minutes 20 seconds. So the time is 8 minutes 20 seconds. Let us convert it in seconds. We know that 8 minutes, 8 into 60, that is 480 seconds plus 20 seconds. This will be 500 seconds. Okay, 8 minutes. How will you convert it in seconds? Multiplying it by 68 into 60 is 480. 480 plus 20, it is 500 seconds. Okay, now here you have to find out the distance between the sun and the earth. The time taken by the sun's light to reach the earth's surface is 500 seconds. And in this new system, the speed of light has to be taken as unity. Now here you have to find out the distance between the sun and the earth. We know that distance is equal to speed into time. Now here the speed of the light is given as 1 and the time is given as 500 seconds. So in the new system of, in the new units of length, this distance will be 500 units. Okay, it may be any unit, so you will write 500 units. So in the new system of unit of length, this distance between the sun and the earth will be 500 units. Is that clear? Okay, then we proceed to question number 10. State the number of significant figures in the following. I think everyone remembers the rules to find out the significant figures. So the A part is 0.007 meters square. What are the number of significant figures?
1.
Yes, it is 1 only.
1.
Yes, correct. 2.10. Here, the A part is 0. I'm not writing the unit, 0.07. Okay, as it's starting with the decimal, so all these initial zeros are insignificant. So the number of significant figure is 1 only. Then 2.64 into 10 raised to the power 24 kgs. 2.64 into 10 raised to the power 24 kgs. Okay, how can we write down? 264 followed by 22 zeros. Okay, then there won't be any decimal in this number. No decimal, all the last zeros are insignificant. So how many number of significant figures will remain? There will be only 3 significant figures in this value. The next one is C part is 0.2370. Yes, how many significant figures?
4.
Yes, 4. As there is a decimal, so the last zero will be considered to be significant. So how many number of significant figures? 4. Then the D part, which is on the next page, 6.320. 6.320. D part is 6.320. Again, this 0 is after the decimal, so it will be considered to be significant. So the number of significant figures are 4. E part is 6.032. This 0 is coming between two non-zero digits, so it will be considered as significant. So again, the number of significant figures are 4. Then the F part is 0. How many zeros? 3 zeros. 6032. Okay, as it's starting with the decimal, all these initial zeros are insignificant. So again, the number of significant figures here are 4. Okay, so according to the rules, we can find out. Then question number 11th also you can try. The length, breadth and thickness of a rectangular sheet of metal or 4.234 meter, 1.005 meter and 2.01 centimeters respectively. You have to find out the area and the volume of the sheet. Okay, area is length into breadth. Okay, you will multiply length and breadth and you can find out the area. But then that area has to be expressed in proper significant figures. Okay, as we are multiplying, we'll count the number of significant figures in the length, then in the breadth, the one which is having the least number of significant figures. The result should be written only in those minimum number of significant figures. The same way, when you find out the volume is length into breadth into height. Okay, you will not multiply all three together. Here 2.01. The thickness is in centimeters. So either convert the length and breadth in centimeters, or you can convert the thickness in the meters and then multiply, and then answer has to be expressed in proper significant figures. Which one is having the minimum number of significant figures? Which one is having? The last one. So the answer should be in minimum number of significant figures. Okay, correct. Okay, leave 2.12, it's of the same type. 2.13, a physical quantity is related as a cube b square upon under root c into d. The percentage error in a, b, c and d are given. Okay, the same type of question we have already done. Okay, question number 13, a similar type of question we have already done. So accordingly, how much it would be? 3 delta a upon a into 100 plus 2 delta b upon b into 100 plus half delta c upon c into 100 plus delta d upon d into 100. Okay, this delta a upon a into 100 is 1%. Then Percentage error in B is 3, C is 4, and D is 2%. Okay, the same way. We have already done this type of question. Okay, then question number 14th. A book with many printing errors contains 4 different formulas for the displacement of the particle undergoing a certain periodic motion. Okay, here A is the maximum displacement, B is the speed, capital T is the time period. Rule out the wrong formulas on dimensional grounds. Okay, let's do this question. Question number 14, 2.14. Okay, on the basis of dimensional arguments, you have to state that which formula is correct, which formula is not correct. Dimensionally, it is not correct. For an equation to be dimensionally correct, we know that the dimensions on the left hand side should be equal to dimensions on the right hand side. The first one, A part is y is equal to A sine 2 pi small t upon capital T. Capital T is the time period and this small t is also some time. Y is the displacement and A is the amplitude. Amplitude means maximum displacement. Okay, the maximum displacement we call it as the amplitude. So displacement has a dimension L, amplitude has a dimension L, and we know that this sine theta should be dimensionless. Okay, as we have already studied, sine theta is perpendicular upon hypotenuse. Perpendicular is also some length, hypotenuse is also some length, L upon L, it should be dimensionless. So this argument of sine should be dimensionless. 2 pi doesn't have any dimension. T upon T. The dimensions cancel out. This is also time, this is also time. T upon T, dimensions cancel out. And the argument of sine, that is this theta, is dimensionless. So sine theta is dimensionless and the dimensions of the left hand side is matching with the right hand side. So this equation is dimensionally correct. Okay, then B is y is equal to A sine B into T. So the first thing what you will check is the argument of sine. Sine theta should be dimensionless. Okay, then we'll check all these parts. V into T, is it dimensionless? Velocity, LT minus 1, T is capital T. So what dimension you will get? L. So it means sine theta is not dimensionless. So if sine theta is not dimensionless, the equation is incorrect. So this equation based on dimensions is incorrect because this sine theta should be dimensionless. Though here it is matching L is equal to L, but this should be dimensionless. Sine theta should be dimensionless. So this equation is dimensionally incorrect. The C1 is y is equal to A upon time period sine t by A. First, let's check the sine theta. This is time, this is amplitude. Time has got a dimension capital T. Amplitude has got a dimension L. Okay, maximum displacement L. So its dimension is L raised to the power minus 1 into T. So it means sine theta is not dimensionless. And we know that sine theta should be dimensionless. So this equation is also dimensionally incorrect. Here also the dimensions are not matching. L, this is amplitude, L upon T. Okay, this dimension. First you check sine theta. Sine theta should be dimensionless. Sine theta not dimensionless. Mark it as incorrect. The D part is y is equal to A upon root 2 sine 2 pi t upon t plus cos 2 pi t upon t. Okay, check it yourself and let me know the answer. Is it dimensionally correct or not? First check sine theta, cos theta. These should be dimensionless. If this is dimensionless, this also should be dimensionless. Dimensionless quantities only can be added or subtracted. Same dimension quantities. Okay, so t upon t, sine 2 pi t upon t. This is dimensionless, which is added to again a dimensionless quantity t upon t. So this is dimensionless, this is dimensionless. Now check it here. Y has a dimension L, amplitude has a dimension L, √2 doesn't have any dimension. So L is equal to L. So this equation is dimensionally correct. Okay, so if sine any trigonometric function is coming, first check that that trigonometric function should be dimensionless. Okay, then you will check the left hand side and the right hand side. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Also, you'll do the solved questions. Most of the solved questions here we have done. One solved question here we'll discuss, which is given on page number. 1 minute. Which is given on page number. Let me check it out. Okay, page number 27. Example 2.12. Page number 27. The example 2.12. Take a note. Okay, here it is given that the period of oscillations of a simple pendulum, time period is given as 2 pi under root L by G. Let's write. This is the solved question. Okay, all the solved questions you will try it yourself. The solutions are given over there. 2.12, page 27. Okay, the question is time period is given by T is equal to 2 pi under root L upon G. Measured value of length is given, which is known to 1 millimeter accuracy, and the time for 100 oscillations of the pendulum is found to be 90 seconds using a wristwatch of 1 second resolution. You have to find out the accuracy in determination of G. That is the percentage error in G. What do you have to find out? The percentage error in G. So G should be on the left hand side. So let us try to bring this acceleration due to gravity on the left hand side. How can we bring it? Square this equation. T square is equal to 4 pi square L upon G. So G is equal to 4 pi square L upon T square. Okay, as you have to find out the percentage error in G. So relative error in G multiplied by 100 will give you the percentage error. Delta G upon G into 100. This is the percentage error in G. This is the quantity which you have to find out. 4 pi square is not the measured value, will not have any error. Error will be in the length and error will be in the time period. So delta L upon L into 100 plus 2 delta T upon T into 100. So what is the percentage error in G? As given over here, delta L upon L into 100 plus power is multiplied to the relative error 2 delta T upon T into 100. Okay, now let's read the question. Measured value of length is 20 centimeter. L is given as 20 centimeter, which is known to 1 millimeter accuracy. That is the instrument which is used to measure it. Its least count is 1 millimeter. So what can be the maximum error? What can be the maximum absolute error in the length? It will be of 1 millimeter only. So what is delta L? Delta L given here is 1 millimeter. Okay, when we substitute it here, both should be in the same units. 20 centimeters, either you can convert millimeter in centimeter or centimeter in millimeter. Let's convert 20 centimeter. 20 centimeter in millimeter is 200 millimeter. Okay. Okay, then it is given that it is found to be 90 seconds using a wristwatch of 1 second resolution. 100 oscillations. The time for 100 oscillations is measured, which is found to be 90 seconds. So what is the time here? Time here is 90 seconds. And what can be the absolute error in the time? It is measured by a wristwatch which is having a resolution of 1 second. So what could be the maximum absolute error in T? It will be 1 second. So delta T is 1 second. Hurry up, substitute it here. in this formula and calculate the percentage error in G. I think the answer which is given is not correct. Okay, you can find out your answer. Okay, because last year also some students told that this answer given is not correct. So you can calculate delta L 1 millimeter, L is 200 millimeter, 1 upon 200 into 100, twice delta T 1 second upon 90 second into 100. Okay, here the answer given is 3%. You can check your answer. I think it is 0.27 which they have rounded off and written as 3%. Okay, so you will try all the exercise questions, all the solved questions and the exercise questions which we have discussed, only those questions here you will simplify, you will practice only those questions. Okay, no need to do all the exercise questions. Okay, so this chapter along with the numericals we have completed with the exercise questions. Okay, so tomorrow we'll start with the next chapter, motion in a straight line. Okay, but before starting it, here two topics here we'll discuss: differentiation and integration.
Okay.
Okay, what is the answer coming?
2.7.
I think it's
49 by 18.
0.7.
Yes, I think it is 2.7%.